Coach, good to see you guys bounce back tonight. I was talking to Mike, and he said what stood out was the little things that you guys did right tonight. What were some of those things that you saw?
Well, the biggest thing it was we really competed, and I think when you do that, you find ways to make plays and win a game. And getting back on defense, I thought our perimeter guys really had a presence on the boards. And as much as anything, the guys that did a lot of those little things, particularly Joe's performance was just terrific, and Fave came in with Rudy in foul trouble and gave us really good minutes. But we defended, I think when Mike's talking about that, it's really about the defense. But the other thing that we haven't been doing is we haven't been spacing. So we were able to move the ball more because we were spaced.
Next up, Tony Jones, The Athletic.
Coach, what are you seeing out of Mike? I mean, I know that he started to get really comfortable within the offense towards the end of last season, especially towards the bubble. And it just looks like he's kind of continuing that, his comfortability within the offense to where he's playing instinctively instead of thinking.
Yeah, well, I think he's thinking, and because he's thinking, he's able to be instinctive. He's in positions that he's tough to guard. And, one of the biggest things tonight was when they started, switch and pick and roll, he's able to get in the lane with his quickness and make some plays for other people. So as you said, things take time. We're still going through some of that. I don't know if it's been talked about or anybody's aware, but I think it was 13 games last year that Joe, Bojan, and Mike played together. Mike was banged up the first part of the year. He came back, and then, we didn't obviously have Bojan the second part of the year. So those guys, it kind of occurred to me, frankly, the other day. We've talked a lot about continuity, but with a guy like Bojan or a player like Mike and Joe, obviously tonight as well, those guys figuring out, just, I won't say coexist, but how to play together and help each other, because they're all unselfish. And I think that'll be something that we'll continue to improve on.
All right, Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune.
You mentioned pregame that one of the things you guys needed to do was kind of speed up and get into your offensive sets a little bit earlier. Seems like there was a concerted effort to do that, especially through the first three quarters. How did you feel about that effort overall tonight?
Well, yeah, I think it starts with just something as simple as an outlet pass, and the guy that you're outletting to, catching the ball, with some degree of momentum to attack. We also, we had our eyes ahead, in addition to having our eyes out when we drove the ball the majority of the time. So that's something that's important. And if we can pass the ball across half court and move it, we're throwing it ahead to guys that can make shots or make plays. And it also lets our bigs run and have a presence on the boards if we attack.
Andy Larson, Salt Lake Tribune.
Quinn, I wanted to ask in particular about Mike's pick and roll three. That's been a big shot for him tonight and in general. And I guess my question is, how is he good at getting those looks, and how green is his light when he comes off that screen?
It's like a green sun. If the sun was green, it's that bright. I think, because Mike is so shifty and quick, if you go under on him in a pick and roll, that's been the shot that we've really, encouraged and demanded. These don't, that if you go under, I want him shooting the ball. And that has, suddenly people have to go over, and now he's able to get in the paint. But, that's the one in particular. And the other thing is, we really want our guys to read the play before they get the ball. And I think his reads are getting quicker. You saw that with some of the catch and shoot threes that we need to shoot threes when we have closeout situations and guys' arms are down. And, I think his three, as you saw tonight, is setting up a lot of other parts of his game.
All right. And one last question from Ryan Miller, KSL.com.
Hey, Quinn, you talked about Derrick Favors a little bit. Could you just go into a little more detail about how important he was, especially in that third quarter?
Well, I think even in the first half with Rudy in foul trouble, we have confidence in Fave, not just to stabilize, but to play well and make plays and give us a lift. And credit to him, he's always ready to play. Whatever you ask him to do, he's going to embrace. Whether it's shorter minutes like he played the other night or tonight, but I think his ability to roll like in a half roll situation and make that little floater. He had a real clean pinch post jump shot tonight. That was a big play, but I think as much as anything, his presence down low, and his ability to get rebounds in a crowd. It's not easy to rebound against that team. Particularly when Zubac is that big and Beverly crashes and obviously Kawhi and PG. So his presence on the defensive glass and also on the offensive glass, keeping some plays alive.
All right. That's it for tonight. Thank you, Coach.
Okay. Thanks.